Time to go behind the burnt orange curtain, talk a little Texas football. I want to get into these updated Heisman odds. Their updated Heisman odds and their updated odds for the number one overall pick in the 2025 draft. I want to get to both of these, but DraftKings are the ones who have the odds for the Heisman, and DraftKings now with their updated Heisman odds. At the top of the list, they have now Carson Beck at the top of their, if you go look at their Heisman odds now, Carson Beck and Quinn Ewers are tied with at plus 900 for the best Heisman odds. Dillon Gabriel, here, if you look at the Heisman odds here, he's at plus 1,000 on this list. Jalen Milroy is at plus 1,400. The quarterback from Alabama. Dillon Gabriel, of course, is with Oregon. Carson Beck is the Georgia quarterback, and Quinn Ewers, of course, here at Texas. Will Howard, who is now the quarterback at Ohio State, at plus 1,500. Jackson Dart, Ole Miss quarterback, at plus 1,800. And then you're at the plus 2,000 at Garrett Nussmeier, and I think after that gets kind of the odds get pretty long for the rest of the field. Shedeur Sanders is way down the list. I don't think a lot of people are picking him for the Heisman just because they don't think Colorado's going to be good enough for him to be considered for Heisman. Yeah. He may be great, but they going to win 6, 7 games at most.
No, and I mean, you're going to have a really good performance now to win it in the ACC or the Big 12 too, I think. Like you're going to have a really, really standout performance because I think you can, but it has to be dominating. Yes. Your team has to be undefeated. You have to be the guy because there is just going to be a bigger and bigger bias now that the Pac-12 is gone, that the Big Ten is going to get such a heavy percentage, and the SEC's already gotten a huge percentage. Throw Texas and Oklahoma in there, they will continue to get a heavy percentage of votes. That I feel it's going to affect the ACC and the Big 12 a little bit.
Yeah, I'm trying to go down this list to find out the which of the Heisman favorites here is from the Big 12 and the ACC. I guess honestly, Avery Johnson's on here, the K-State quarterback. He's at plus 3,000. Yeah, you're right. I mean, they basically most of the guys with damn near all of them with the top Heisman odds. Carson Beck, Quinn Ewers, that's SEC. Dillon Gabriel, he's going to be playing at Oregon. So obviously that is Big 10. In the Big 10. Jalen Milroy, SEC, Bama, Will Howard, Big 10 with Ohio State, Jackson Dart, that's Ole Miss, Garrett Nussmeier. Yeah, you're right. I mean,
it just feels like, I mean, if you're talking about where the sporting media world is and who's voting on the Heisman and just where it feels like the power is where, we're going to have the most matchups on TV that are big time matchups. That's the two conferences. And, you used to throw in that the Pac-12 had some bias in this. The Pac-12 bias is now mostly in the Big Ten.
Well, the Pac-12 had their best year ever, too, when it came to big-time quarterbacks and big and great offense. You're right. All of that is leaving, going to the NFL, but then all of those assets are now going to the Big Ten. I'm with you. I think that goes back to what I said. We're in an Android, iPhone era of major college sports. The Big Ten and the SEC are about to monopolize all of the resources, whether it be talent and players. Yeah. Now you're talking about awards and accolades, where you're talking about revenue. They're about to get it all. And then it's just going to continue to increase the separation and the divide right now that they have that Grand Canyon-sized gap between the SEC, the Big Ten, and the rest of college football. So you're right. Yeah, there's no doubt. I didn't see that at first, but I totally agree with you. For Quinn Ewers, though, it's good news. I guess they're, at least the Vegas wise guys out there in Vegas, the odds makers, they're thinking that Quinn Ewers is going to have a big year. If Quinn Ewers ends up in New York for the Heisman, that bodes really well for Texas accomplishing their goals. And I got to tell you right now, it looks like that Texas-Georgia matchup during the season not only is going to have national title implications, SEC title implications. You might get a rematch. Hopefully, if you're Texas, you want to see Georgia multiple times this season. You want to see them because you got to play them once, but you love to see them because I'm pretty sure they're going to end up in the SEC title game.
Yeah.
So you want to see them again there. And honestly, I'm sure they're going to end up in the college football playoff, and you wouldn't mind seeing them again there. So hell, I'm all for playing Georgia 2 to 3 damn times if we could do it, because that would mean Texas season's going really well. And honestly, if that's the case, Patrick, Carson Beck and Quinn Ewers right now having the same Heisman odds, there's a good chance that regular season matchup won't mean as much if they play them in the SEC title game and end up playing them again, obviously in the college football playoff. But like I said, I'm all for it, because that would mean Texas season went really well. But that game may determine who wins the Heisman if they are the two front runners and they face off, and they're just, obviously it's a shootout in that game between Quinn Ewers and Carson Beck.
I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
That may be determined, because right,
it may be, but if I'm gonna pick a secondary who may pick the Heisman.
Damn you, Patrick. We were feeling good about talking about Quinn Ewers for the Heisman, and you're going to bring up the Texas pass defense, which, yes, great point. I agree with you on that. Actually, I don't feel good about the Texas pass defense, but Sark ain't concerned about it, so I'm going to be concerned less about it.
No, and hopefully those edge rushes will put Beck on his back a few times and swing the game.
I like that. Make a T-shirt. Back on his back.
Back on his back.
No, but you're right about that. That is a concern. If Carson Beck is as good as we think he is, and that Georgia's got a lot of speed on the outside, they've been recruiting like gangbusters forever. Yeah, they might have something for that Texas secondary. They better be ready. Also, let's get into these other odds here, because there are some more odds for, and I believe it's also DraftKings, so I'll give them credit. It is for the number 1 overall pick in the upcoming 2025 NFL draft.